Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that instant playoff prediction analysis on Analysis Playground on YouTube, exclusively on air forever. Of course, we're going to talk about the number one seed in the East, the Detroit Pistons, going against their newfound opponent, the Orlando Magic. The Magic has made the playoffs a couple times with Paulo as their number one pick, and it's the first time the number one overall pick, Cade Cunningham, is going to play in the playoffs and have a chance to advance, because most people didn't think they was last year. They really put up a good fight, but they still got beat and they still got eliminated, and it is what it is. But they coming in locked and loaded and ready to play against this Magic team. And the Magic, they coming off a high. They did the impossible. Most people had them losing to the Hornets, but they found a way to get it done, and they dominated that game, and they feel like we can compete if we're making our shots. The key thing is if they making their shots. So let's talk about Paulo Banchero team. 23 years old, 6'10", 250 out of Duke. He's a bucket. He can get to the paint. He can get the mid range. He can get to three. He can get to the free throw line and can get a lot of points there. The Pistons know that they're gonna have Tobias and a lot of guys try to guard him and keep him out of the paint area, force him to be more of a playmaker, force him to be more of a passer, and also a guy on the perimeter. If he's on the perimeter more than getting to the free throw line and getting near the basket, you have a really good chance of blowing this team out. Of course, Desmond Bane has to help out by knocking down threes, getting to the basket, being a combo guard, while also being a solid defender. He's capable of doing all those things. He has shown it this entire season. He has been a good fit. Now it's just about, can he play better? He didn't play well in the last game against the Hornets, but he has a chance to redeem himself in this series. And they're going to need him to be clutch. And they're going to need him to hit big shots and keep everybody involved and be a connector for them. Goga Pataze, just be physical, rebound, protect the rim if you can, and finish at the rim. Anthony Black, be able to score. You know, you can play defense. You have good size. It might not matter too much in this series, but you still need to be able to put the ball in the basket and defend your position, whichever one he chooses to play and whoever they have him on, he's going to have to step up. And that way, Jamal Cain, just attack the basket, hit the three, and defend your position. Javon Carter, you know that he can handle the ball a little bit. He's a guy that can make the mid-range, make the three, hit the layup from time to time, depending on how you're covering him. And he can run your offense a little bit, not give you too much of a drop-off, because you know that he can provide some spacing on and off the ball. Wendell Carter Jr., you know he's a strong guy, set some screens, hit some threes, finish around the basket, get to the free throw line from time to time, and try to be a decent rebounder is what you're going to need him to be in this series. Tristan Da Silva, be a three-point shooter, get to the basket if you can, and on top of that, try to use your length and your athleticism to be a disruptor. You look at guys like Noah Pinda. Will he play? Will he get a lot of minutes? You just need him to do similar things, which is rebound and finish near the basket. Jace Richardson takes some perimeter shots. If they close out too hard, you know, try to make the quick shot or the quick pass. And then you look at Jalen Suggs. You just need him to defend his position, be ready to hit the three, be ready to get the steals, be ready to not get in too much foul trouble, because you know the Pistons is going to try to come at you and get to the free throw line and get to the basket. So you got to try to stay, you know, as disciplined as you can. Try to get the ball, try to find a way to get the steals. And if you do, make your threes if they're open, and still don't forget to drive and try to be a playmaker as much as you can. Franz, he's a big body, so you just hope that he can make a mid-range and a three from time to time, while also being a playmaker and a guy that can get to the basket and the free throw line. And then Martise, set the screens, hit the three, finish at the rim, and rebound as much as you can while you're out there. He's going to be playing limited minutes. And then, of course, for the other guys, since they're on the roster, like Colin Castleton, Jed Howard, Alex, and those guys, they might not play a game unless it's a blowout. If not, they just gonna have to wait until the next one and see if that's a blowout or not. Other than that, they ain't gonna get on the court, since they're still trying to win this series. They're gonna have to play their best guys as much as they can, and you can't blame them for doing it. And it's good to see the Pistons, who have really been good these last 2 years, and you have to be proud of Cade Cunningham and how he lived up to being one of the best players in the last couple years by being an All NBA first team player and being in the MVP conversation and leading his team to a 60 win season. And I have to also say you have to be proud of his teammates for being able to hold it down when he was out and show that they matter just as much as he do because they complement him very well when it comes to defending and rebounding and playing a similar type of style. But they also know how to play off of him, and that's why he had a good amount of assists last year, averaging 9.9. I know it sucks to not get that 10 per game, but at the same time, it just shows you how good of a player Cade is, how good of a leader he is, and how he understands how to play the game the right way. So you just hope he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. You hope that he knock down some perimeter shots and still be able to feed the guys. It seemed like he liked passing just as much as scoring. That's what made him a unique player coming into the NBA. And he has backed it up as showing you that you can put the ball in my hands and I can carry the offense. He's going to have to do that throughout this whole series, but he's ready for it. He wants it. That's one of the reasons why I love K before he came into the NBA. He loves the challenges. He loves the opportunity to showcase how great he is. And I don't think this series will be any different for him. Of course, he's going to have his teammate and his partner in crime, Jalen Duran, back him up, protect that rim, get your boards, always be physical, always try to finish as fast and as quick and as efficient as you can around the rim. And then Javante Green, can you come in and knock down some shots? Can you knock down some threes? Can you get to the basket? Tobias Harris, he's going to be essential to the series because of his floor space and his ability to get his own shot. Can he hit the fadeaway? Can he hit the pull up? Can he hit the spot up threes? We need you to do that throughout the entire series, and that gives us a good chance of winning this series. If you're a Pistons fan, and then Ronald Holland, of course, you want him to hit some threes and score, off the dribble if he can. And then Kevin Herter, can he make a couple threes? Can he make a couple shots while making a couple passes while he out there? We don't know, but that's what he has to do at a high level if he's going to be able to help them beat the Magic. And then Jenkins, he might not play as much as he did in the regular season. Come in, run the offense, make some shots, make some good quick passes to find some guys with some good looks. Don't overthink it and just play your game naturally. Karis LeVert, you know that he can knock down some threes from time to time. He can be a combo guard too. Not only that, he can get to the basket sometimes and get to the free throw line. You want him to be as aggressive as he can be for you. Paul Reed, be strong in that middle. Hit some elbow jumpers, hit some threes if that's what they try to give you. But if not, stay glued to around that rim and try to finish and try to protect the paint as much as you can. Same with Isaiah Stewart. He can set screens. He can bump, rock, and knock in that paint, and he also can finish well and be a good rim protector. Marcus Sasser, just be ready to score wherever you're at on the court when the ball gets your hand. Don't be afraid to take the shot. Duncan Robinson, hit a couple floaters, hit a pass if it's open, and knock down the threes and keep moving without the basketball to always remain a threat that they have to pay attention to. And not only that, Asor Thompson, be that wing defender that we know you can be switchable, be handsy. He got 6 fouls, so try to use them wisely as he usually does. Help on a rebound, push in transition, attack the paint when you see the opportunity, and then of course try to find guys if those opportunities are taken up. You got guys like Tulu Smith, Wendell Moore Jr., Chaz Lanier, Isaac Jones, and those guys might not play at all or might not play much, but they are still going to be mentioned if they do because they're on the roster. So you got to respect that. It's hard to stay on these rosters. It's hard to be locked in for the playoffs because these teams are making moves to get new talent on a roster throughout the entire season. So if you can end the season on an NBA roster, you deserve to be mentioned, in my personal opinion. And I try to do that as much as I can. But other than that, I do have the Pistons winning this series. I think we all going to have it that way for the most part based on what we know going into the series. But it's mainly, to me, the Pistons defense is better. I like the fact that they have the best player in the series, which is Cade. It seems like there's no stopping Jalen Duran. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He just knows how to mix it up and switch it up a lot to where it's hard to prepare for it, to be ready for it. And then he also can come right at you in the chest and finish anyway. That way he can get it done the dirty, gritty way too. But I just feel like these two teams do match up style wise. They both, like to guard a lot more on the perimeter. They like to funnel you a little bit. They like to force you into passing a little bit too. But I just feel like the Pistons defenders is a little bit better. Cade is a more of a bendable player. He's gonna get the shots for himself or his teammates more than I think the Magic can do on their team. And I think that that's going to be the advantage. And, if people said that, well, Cade be a burnout player. We got to use him so much. We need him so much to help us stay ahead and help us be a dominant team. Well, that's what great players are supposed to be. That's what they are about. That's why they're known like that. So I think that that's a good thing that you have the responsibility and he's willing to have it. He's willing to show it. And that should be the guiding light for them to be able to get this series done in about 6 games. I do think the Magic can beat them at least twice because, they just know how to stick to what they know. And if you're not making shots and you're not really shooting well, like the Pistons can do sometimes, or you can just make it difficult on them and then they gotta take below average shots, you still have chances and opportunities throughout the game and throughout the fourth quarter to where if you can make a couple, you can get a 5, 6 point lead and beat them by the end of the game. But it's going to be a dog fight. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard to get that 6 point lead. But the Magic are a team equipped to, give them some problems. I think that it's not going to be problems enough to where they can win the series, but it's going to be good enough to where they can win a couple games. I respect the Magic. I've been liking them a lot. I don't really think that they have lived up to their full potential, but they also haven't had a lot of their guys out there a lot of the season, so they haven't really been able to do it enough or see it enough or have it enough for them to be able to be a better team than what they ended up finishing as. But they still made it to the playoffs. They still had a tough challenge in the Charlotte Hornets. They're going to have another tough one in this series. And if it wasn't for guys like Suggs and Paulo and Franz and Desmond Bain, this probably will be a sweep. But since I know they can step up and I know that they can make big plays and big moments, even if it's just finding the guy or just doing it themselves, and while they also are well coached to a certain extent, I think that they should find a way to have some type of success in this series. And it ain't going to be enough to win it, but it's going to be enough to keep it fun and entertaining before it's over. So, they kind of remind me of last year Pistons where, everything makes sense for them and they're going to continue to make it tough. But ultimately, they might just come up a little short a couple times, and that's enough for you to advance. Some people feel like the Pistons got cheated last year. But since there's nothing that you can really do about it but move forward, they doing that real well this year. And now it's just about how far can they actually go? How far can they actually take this, ride that they've been on this entire season and going into the postseason? How far can they go? Can they get to the conference finals? Can they get to the NBA finals? I think they're good enough to do all those things, but their offense got to be, clicking enough, and their defense got to be top notch. Their half court defense has been good, but it got to be better, because teams are going to have better players more consistently. In the regular season, you got to go against the good, the bad, the ugly, and the great, and the amazing. In the playoffs, you're going to have to go against maybe okay to good and then great for the rest of the occasion. So it should be fun and entertaining is what I'm saying. I think Orlando do have a good shot of making it a fun, interesting series. But at the same time, the Pistons are just on another level. They should be able to get this one done. I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons won it in 5. I do think the Magic still should get a game at least. But if they won it in 5, I wouldn't be surprised. But if it wins 6, it's because guys stepped up on the Magic end, and I respect them enough to give them 2. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, hopefully with more analysis for y'all to watch and see.